Om. 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 Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Gurur Devo Maheshwara, Guru Deva Param Brahma, Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. Chinmaya Vyapyat Sarvam Trilokyam Sacharacharam Tadpadam Darshitam Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. Tvameva Mata cha Pita Tvameva Tvameva Bandhuscha Sakha Tvameva Tvameva Vedyadravinam Tvameva Tvameva Sarvam Mama Deva Deva Tvameva Sarvam Mama Deva Deva. Jai Guru. Om Sahana Vavatu, Sahana Punaktu, Sahaviryam Karavavai, Tejasvinavadhitamastu Maridvishavai. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Was that Preeti who came in?
I'm sorry.
That's all right. Do you want a floor chair?
Yes.
Yes,
Yes.
no.
I think my answer is yes.
Okay. Someone help her?
I-
And Preeti, this is Michael. He's visiting, longtime student. And I think everybody else is all set. And refresh our memory, Mark, what verse are we on?
32.
32. And Puneet will be our chanter this evening. Do you want Paulo to move forward a little bit? Preeti?
Oh, I'm okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah,
Will you help us?
whatever.
First, before we start, any questions on any of the material? We're a little over halfway through the text now. Okay, go.
देहान्यद्वान्न मे जन्म जराकाश अर्यलादयः शब्दादिवे विषय शब्दादिविषयै संगो निरिन्द्रयतया न च. I am other than the body, and so I am free from the changes such as birth, wrinkling, senility, death, and so on. I have nothing to do with the sense objects such as sound and taste, for I am without the sense organs.
So this is what we call, the technical term is jnana abhyasa. So we have a second Sanskritist with us tonight. Michael, what is jnana abhyasa?
Practice of knowledge.
The practice of knowledge. So this identification with the body, the sense organs, the activities of the body, the feelings, the thoughts, and the ego sense, the ahankara in the subtle intellect is a very long, very vivid habit of thinking. Lifetimes old. Lifetimes old. but it's not our nature. And it's not the truth. It's just a habit. Now, there's a wonderful text. It's considered the most advanced and subtlest of all the Upanishads, and it's called the Mandukya Upanishad. And one whole chapter goes through all the reasons by which we normally think the person is real and that the world is separate from me and inherently joy-giving and misery-producing. And he just knocks them all down. Sees how they're illogical in the end. But one of the things that keeps it in place is what I call agreement. Now, this is very funny about human nature. So let's say you have a boss who criticizes you. And human nature, he's a jerk. So what do we usually do? We go to our coworkers. He's a jerk, isn't he? Yeah, he's a jerk. So if I get enough people to agree with me that he's a jerk, that's the truth. He's a jerk. Don't we do that?
Mm-hmm.
Agreement is not a proof of reality. For hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years, people in Europe thought the world was flat. If you sailed all west, you'd fall off the edge of the world. Did it make it true? No. Hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years, people thought the sun revolved around the earth. The Ptolemaic understanding of astronomy. Who here is into astrology at all? Yeah, very tightly. Mercury's in retrograde. Mercury doesn't go backwards. But if you have a Ptolemaic understanding of the solar system, because Mercury's going in a circle, it looks like it's going backwards. It's on its merry way around the sun, always has been. It's never going backwards. So this feeling that I'm a person, it's deeply rooted, no question about it, but it's a habit. So jnana abhyasa, the practice of knowledge, is in my mind. I go back to this basic practice we've been working on. Subject, object discrimination. Who sees the AirPods? I do. Are you an AirPod? You're the one looking at the AirPods. Subject, object. Take a deep breath. Feel the breath in the body. Do you not know the breath in the body? Wrinkling. Most of you are far too young to be worried about wrinkling. David and I are the only ones who have to deal with thinning hair, gray hair. Are these not objects of awareness? Energy. Michael and I were talking about Shakti before class. There's a lot of energy and you get really high. But it has a beginning and an end, and most importantly, it's an object of cognition, not this, not a feeling, not a thought, and most importantly, not the feeling that I'm a person. This Jiva Bhavana. Koham, who am I? What's my essential nature? When I slow down the thinking. Why do I need to do that? Because I need to be able to see some space between the thoughts when there's silence. This is why meditation is so important. In that silence, with the attentive faculty turned within, notice the knower. See what you see. There's nothing there. That's right. But that nothing isn't zero. It's me. It shines. It's the ground of being, pure awareness. So because I have this habit of attributing to the self the qualities of the not self, I have to work on, no, that's not true. It's not true. It's not so. Here's one. People who are self-obsessed, I'm the piece of poop that the universe revolves around. They're convinced that if they go into a party, everybody's looking at them and thinking about them. I have news for you, they're not. They're thinking about themselves. But we have to remind ourselves about that over and over again if we've got a habit of self-obsession. Just a kind of thinking. Any thoughts on this? Yes.
Is it possible that a part of us has that thought, but another part of us might see it differently?
Very likely. Probably not at the same time, probably in sequence. And that's part of what makes us so nuts. You know, egoism is not consistent in the least. In the morning, I may feel okay about myself, but that's usually still an idea that I'm a person. I'm just an okay person. And then in the afternoon, something triggers me, and then I'm not an okay person. But when we're doing this jnana abhyasa, when I'm not a person at all, I'm that ground of being, I'm that witnessing consciousness. When we're triggered, and that's really strong, we have to remind ourselves over and over again. Mind you, this is not necessarily going to make the negative feeling go away. That can take a little time, but we keep working at it. This is the practice that Shankara suggests. Does that make it a little more useful?
Yeah, I guess it's an idea that the ego can be multiple.
Yeah. The metaphor that's used in the literature is a flame. Now, a flame is not a solid thing. If you take a photograph of a flame on a candle, you know, it looks like a solid thing. If it's a windless room, the flame looks like it's solid. But a flame is an event. It's a constant oxidization of gases. It's always dynamic. It's always in motion. So is the ego. And have you heard the term nirvana? Who here has heard the word nirvana? What's nirvana mean?
Extinguish or blow out.
Yeah. So that's what the whole idea is. I'm not a person. As soon as I think I'm a person, that sense always has a quality. I'm not enough, there's not enough. There may be little moments when I feel okay, but it doesn't pass. Only freedom I've ever found. Get out. Get out. Any other thoughts on this?
Jim, is samadhi an object of cognition?
That's a good question, and I'm not sure we have time to deal with it tonight. Depends on what you mean by samadhi. It is the mind state of no mind, yes. Can you see there are AirPods in my hand? Can you?
No. Oh, that's airport. I thought it was a rock.
Yeah.
I don't know where the rock is. Okay, can you see there are no AirPods in my hand? So when the thoughts go by, I see there are thoughts. When you have those moments when the thoughting has stopped, I know there are no thoughts. Of course, you have to do it after the fact. Because if you're thinking, oh, there's no thoughts, that's a thought. I don't want to get into it because it's a deep and subtle subject. All right, next verse.
Amanastva nan me dukkaraga tvesha bhayadayah aprano yamana shubhra ityadi shruti shasanat. I am other than the mind, and hence I am free from sorrow, attachment, malice, and fear. For the self is without prana and without mind, pure, and so on, is the commandment of the great scripture, the Upanishad.
So here Shankara frequently does that. He footnotes. So here he backs up his statement with a quote from the Upanishad. Does Swamiji say which Upanishad it's from in a footnote?
It is not.
Okay, I don't know which one it is. But the point is, the Upanishads are parts of the Vedas. You know, they're the knowledge parts. But the idea here is sorrow never touches me. Sorrow is something I see. Depression is something I see. Anger is something I see. Fear is something I see. Now, this doesn't necessarily mean reminding myself that I am the witness of it, makes it go away right away. But when I can see that it's not I, that it's just a movement in the mind, I'm safe. It never touches me. Now, we have to prove this to ourselves over and over and over again. Because ignorance is tenacious. It's tenacious. Nothing's going to harm you. I promise you that. One of the last things Ram Dass said, even dying is completely safe. Next verse.
Nirguno nishkayo nityo nirvikalpo niranjanaha nirvikaro nirakaro nityamuktam nityam uktosmin nirmalaha. I am attributeless, actionless, eternal, formless, without any desire, thought, or modification, ever liberated and ever pure.
Yes. So this is a really good meditation verse. How do we use a meditation verse? This is how I used them. You open it up. Okay, that's a really good meditation verse. Set the book next to you and meditate. tune up the mind until it's really quiet. Then take each one of these ideas and see whether or not it's true about you. Remember, if it's an object of cognition, it's not self. Yet your self is self-evident. Your self is not unknown. How do you know you are you? You do not see, hear, taste, touch, smell, emote, or think yourself. But you are not unknown. You are you. So let's go by each one of these ideas to see what the deeper meaning is. First idea,
I am attributeless.
what was the Sanskrit?
Nirguna.
Nirguna, yes. So I have no qualities of mind. I have no attributes. The mind has its qualities, but I do not. I'm ever the knower of those qualities. And again, if we have long meditation, what do we get to see about the mind? If you've done a meditation retreat, I think you two did one recently, didn't you?
Yes.
Okay, what did you learn about mind states?
Mind states.
Fear, joy, boredom, happiness, confusion. Didn't they pass?
Yeah, it's all permanent. Yeah.
What?
It's all impermanent.
Oh, but the one who noticed them didn't go anywhere. They just went by, like your hand in front of your face. They just go by. Like the sound of the traffic outside. You hear a motorcycle, and you hear a big truck, siren goes by. I'm without any of these conditions or qualities. Next idea?
Actionless.
Yes. The body acts, the self goes nowhere. Sitting still is still an action. And all the actions of the body and the mind and the intellect are impermanent. They're temporary. They come and they go. I'm going to sit still. Eventually, you're going to go to the bathroom. Eventually, you'll fall asleep. Eventually, you'll have to go get something to eat. But you go nowhere. I can remember this like it was yesterday. I was at a camp with Swamiji, and one of the people attending the camp, Indian fellow, says, Swamiji, when are you coming to Allahabad? And Swamiji says, I go nowhere. Allahabad passes in front of me. That's true about you. Life just passes in front of you. Next idea.
Eternal.
Yes. Did he use Nityam?
Yeah.
Yes. Nityam is eternal. It's different than Sanatanam or Puranam, which means ancient. Ancient means really old. Nityam is outside of time. You are always now. Even the past is a memory occurring in the now. the eternal, no. These nouns follow in succession, disappear. And you remain. Next idea.
Formless.
Yes. The body has a form. It's always changing. The mind has a form, happy, sad, etc. The intellect has a form, this thought, that thought, certainty, doubt. But you have no form, nirupa. Next idea.
Without any desire.
Yes. Desire is a function of the mind. You have no desire, no aversion. You are Chidakasha, just the space of pure awareness. You watch a desire arise. Doesn't belong to you. Next idea.
Without thought or modification.
Yes. You watch thoughts go by. You watch the modifications of everything in the world, but you are empty like space. But Prakasha, the light of pure awareness. Next one.
Ever liberated and ever pure.
Yes. There was a great saint in the mid-20th century. Some of you may have known of him. Meher Baba. He was basically in the Sufi tradition. Who's heard of him? He had a very famous saying, everybody's already liberated. Don't worry, be happy. Very high yoga. Listen very carefully. Both bondage and liberation occur to the mind. The self is ever free. What is my bondage? There is no other bondage than the deeply rooted conviction, because of ignorance, that I'm bound, meaning I think I'm the body, or the body plus the personality. There is no other liberation than the deeply rooted conviction. Not that I am a liberated person. Not that I'm a Mahatma, come touch my feet. No. I'm that grounded being. I'm Brahman. Now, that bondage and that liberation that occurs to the mind, well, important in the relative sense, never changes the self. And the great cosmic joke, what is the pramana, the means of knowledge by which the self is known? Give you a hint. So if I go down to the lake and I walk on around the West End, there are people living under bushes and in tents. If I go up to some dude living under a bush and I say, how are you doing? Oh, it's cold. I'm miserable. I'm so sorry. By the way, do you exist? What a stupid question. Of course I exist. What's your existence like? Miserable? Do you know your misery? Of course I know my misery. What are you getting at, dude? You're crazy. He thunders. I am. I know. He never doubts his existence. Only the Shunyavadins do. The Shunyavadins are a particular school of Buddhists. Do you exist? No, I don't exist. And you know this for sure. Oh, yes, I've experienced that I don't exist. Oh, and to whom did that experience occur? No one can negate the direct experience of awareness. But that doesn't do me any good. It's my stupid mind that has the problem. So don't worry, be happy. But what seems to be the cause of it is this deeply rooted ignorance, the fruit of which I think I'm a person. And just like we talked about it being like a flame, it's an event, it's inconsequential, it's always changing. No wonder I'm crazy if I think I'm that. And I keep trying to solidify it. On Thursday nights, we've been doing a book called The Essence of Yoga Vasishta. There was a very funny story. There was this fellow, and he was a little bit crazy in the head. So he decided he was going to build a house for a fellow who didn't really exist. And the fellow who really didn't exist was concerned that he needed to protect the space inside the house. Not the house, but the space inside the house. And in time, of course, the house falls down. He did not mourn the loss of the house. He mourned the loss of the space. So he dug a well. In time, to protect the space. In time, the well caves in. And he mourns not the loss of the well, but the loss of space. Now, did anything happen to space? No. You are the space of pure awareness. Chidbakasha. Don't believe me. Don't believe Shankara. Look and see if it ever changes. It doesn't need to be defended, protected, solidified, fixed. Next one.
अहमाकाशवत् सर्वं बहिरन्तर्गतो युतः सदा सर्वसमशुद्धो निसंगो निर्मलोचलः. Like the space, I fill all things within and without, changeless and the same in all. At all times, I'm pure, unattached, stainless, and motionless.
So, for a while in my sadhana, when I was doing my practice, I could get to the point, okay, I get that I'm a witness, but how do I know I'm not just this little glob of consciousness? And Maya's another little glob of consciousness. And Liam's just another little glob of consciousness. Because it feels like I'm a discrete person. That bubble can explode and disappear. I promise you that. You see the room from your viewpoint, I see it from mine. You're aware of your body, I'm aware of mine. You are aware of your thoughts and feelings, I'm aware of my thoughts and feelings. But when you look behind your eyes and notice the knower. There's just akasha, the space of pure awareness. When I look behind my eyes and notice the knower, there's just the space of pure awareness. The self in me is not like the self in you. The self in me is the self in you. There's only one being here. Another way to understand it, it feels like I'm inside the body, keeping out. But when I dream, I have the same experience. I have a dream body, which is a locus of perception for the dream. Sometimes I have kind of a omnipresent view above, but most of the time I'm in the dream body, seeing the dream world. But am I in the dream or is the dream in me? No, it's my one mind that becomes the dream body, the dream perceiver in the body, the dream objects, all of that. All this is nothing but consciousness in the end. Next one.
Nityashuddha vimuktam akhandananda advayam satyam jnanam anantam yat param brahma hamevatat. I am verily that supreme Brahman, which is eternal, pure, ever liberated, one, indivisible, blissful, non-dual truth, and of the nature of existence, knowledge, infinite.
Yeah. So this word Brahman, it's a neuter noun. In the Romance languages, we have masculine and feminine, those of you who speak Spanish or French. In Sanskrit, we have masculine, feminine, and neuter. So today, among people who don't want to be patriarchal in their theological language, how do you refer to God? You know, what pronoun do you use? It's hard. Some people are using they, them for God, which seems polytheistic, but that's okay. God as I understand God, you'll hear. Solved in Sanskrit, we have the word Brahman, which is a non-gendered, well, it is gendered, it's a neuter, neutral gender. It is the word we use for the ground of being. And remember back a few lessons ago, we talked about the four great utterances. What was the first one? Prajnanam Brahma. Consciousness is what Brahman is. The ground of being is consciousness. And what's the second one? I am Atma. Brahman. This self is Brahman. Ground of being of the whole universe. And that witnessing consciousness in you, they are the same thing. There, come the Dutch. If God is omnipresent, omniscient, omnipotent, you are always there. Whatever needs to be known through any being, it is the knower in everything. And out of it comes the entire universe. Omnipotent. And in the mythology, the gods say, where can we hide the truth so that people won't find it? We put it up on top of a mountain. Oh, somebody's going to climb it. If we sink it in the Mariana Trench, somebody will get a submarine that can go there. Where can we hide the truth where nobody will think to look for it? It's closer than your breath. It's closer than hand or foot. It's closer than your innermost secret thought. It's your very experience of I. Now, Michael comes from a Jewish tradition. So when Moses goes up on the mountain and God's talking to him in the burning bush, Moses says, who shall I say hath sent me? And what does God answer?
Something like I am. Tell them I am sent you.
Yeah. And it's not a name like Imes dog food. Although there's the tetragrammaton, they usually kind of put into English as Yahweh. We think it was probably pronounced. But the point is right there in Genesis. What is the nature of God? Find out who I is, and you will find out who God is. Next verse.
Evam nirantarabyasta Dhammaivasmiti vasana Bharat yavidya vikshepa Anroganiva rasayanam. The impression, I am Brahman, thus created by constant practice, destroys ignorance and the agitations caused by it, just as medicine or rasayana destroys diseases.
Yes. So we need to talk for a little bit about a term that he's used here, vasana, which is an impression. And there are positive impressions and negative ones that are conducive to our spiritual growth and those that are negative. I don't think I'm going to go into Vasana more deeply than that. So here, what we want to do is strengthen the impression I am Brahman. And it's like taking a medicine. The idea here is knowledge destroys ignorance. I think I did this in a prior class. I'm thinking of a song lyric. What song lyric am I thinking of?
Yellow submarine.
How did you know? But the idea is if you ask, I could tell you. Inquiry is the way we get knowledge. Or guessing. I lost my train of thought. So when we say the thought of knowledge, I am Brahman, it's not a vain repetition. It's not, I am Brahman, I am Brahman, I am Brahman, I am Brahman. That gets you nowhere. Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya. If it's just empty repetition, it may do some good to concentrate the mind. But here we use the jnana abhyasa, the practice of knowledge, to engage in this inquiry. Stop a moment. See if you can just thin out the mind. And introvert the attentive faculty. Notice the knower. Keeping in mind if it's got a form, if there's qualities, if it's characteristics, I am knowing that. Therefore, I am not that. Who am I? That space of pure awareness, which is there whether I'm recognizing it or not. But the recognition of it is what's transformative to the mind. Until we have what's called sthita prajna, steady wisdom. One of my heroes, that dude up there, Ramana Maharshi, said for the jnani, the person of wisdom, it's like for the ordinary person, when you think of your body, you do not question whether you're a goat or a cow or a horse or a pig. Without any practice or effort, you know you're a human. So also for the jnani, when she thinks of herself, she knows I am that ground of being, that space of pure awareness. Over and over and over again, we practice this, which roots out the habit of ignorance. Any thoughts on this? Now, it's easier in my meditation seat. It's more difficult when I'm moving through the world. But that's where it's most effective. When things in the world stimulate an idea of self, when the world says, you're a terrible person, or you're so wonderful and powerful, or you're really good looking, or you're really ugly, or you're so smart. How could you be so dumb? Let it pass through. Don't get hooked. Who am I? Witnessing consciousness over and over and over. What number are we on now?
We're gonna do 38.
All right, go.
Vivek deshe asino virago vijitendriyah bhavayede kamatmanam tamanantam ananyadihi. Sitting in a solitary place, freeing the mind from desires and controlling the senses, meditate upon the Atman, which is one without a second, with unswerving attention.
Yeah. So, how long should I sit in meditation? Minimum 20 minutes. How frequently should I do it? At least once a day, or most days. If you can do a half an hour, good. For some reason, it takes about 20 minutes for most people's minds to settle down. Unless you're an adept meditator, then you can drop in right away. If you can meditate for 40, 45 minutes, you're doing wonderfully. Many people choose to meditate an hour or two. You're on a retreat, you'll meditate longer than that. In your normal everyday life, you know, Swamiji always used to say depth of meditation is more important than length. You don't get a gold star for torturing yourself for an hour. But this is what you do in meditation. Sit quietly. You want to be able to forget the body. Oh, I want to do like the yogis do and sit in Padmasana, the lotus posture. It kills my knees, but I'm going to do it. Do you know why Indians sit cross-legged on the floor? This is a very important point.
Because we don't have chairs.
That's exactly it. Culturally, people sit on the floor. We Westerners and old people, our knees can't take it, and in time, our backs don't have the strength. It's perfectly okay to sit in a chair. Perfectly okay. But sit quietly. We talked about this in the art of meditation, keeping the head, the neck, and the spine in alignment. That's what's most important. You can use a mantra to bring the mind to some silence. You can be with your breath. We talked about the Goenka meditation. They do a body scan after you've focused on the, the nostrils. These are all just exercises. The technical term is dharana. What's dharana mean?
To hold attention on something.
Yeah, concentration. So once your mind is quietened down, what's the next idea? Sitting in a quiet place?
Freeing the mind from desires.
Yes. At least during your meditation, take all your desires, all your worldly issues. Meditation is not a time for problem solving. It's not a time to get answers whether you should take a job or not. It's not a time, what should I do about my relationship? Take all of that, put it on the shelf. You can worry about it all when you come back, if you wish. But make the deliberate choice to free the mind from concerns about the world. One of my favorite books is a little book on spiritual practice called The Cloud of Unknowing. The author of The Cloud says, put a cloud of forgetting between you and the world. Just forget it for now. Next idea.
Controlling the senses.
Yes. So not letting them extrovert. Now, this is the key. Oh God, those goddamn traffic noises, they bother me so much, you know. Who's had difficulty with things like noises bothering them? The best metaphor I've ever found for this is body surfing. So I grew up in Southern California. We always used to go to Manhattan Beach to go body surfing Avenue High. And if the waves are coming in and you try to get out beyond the waves on the surface, they batter you. So how do you get out beyond the waves in order to catch one?
Underneath.
Say again.
Go underneath.
Yes. You dive beneath. So let all the worldly noises just happen. Don't resist them. Don't fight them. This is the way to control the senses. Next idea.
Meditate upon the Atman.
Yes. stay with this simple meditation. I am the subject. Anything that's knowable, cognizable, is not sound. Let it go. Absorbing the mind as much as possible into the sound. Now, if in a 20 or 30-minute period of meditation, you can have moments of real stillness, you're doing very well. Next idea.
He continues about Atman, which is one without a second, with unschooling again.
Yes. So it is one without a second. There's no otherness in me. Advayam is, I think, the word he used. There's not two. All right. Beautiful meditation verse. Going on. Next one.
Atmanye vakilam drishyam pravilapya dhiyasudihi bhavayede kamatmanam nirmalakasha vatsada. The wise one should intelligently merge the entire world of objects in the Atman alone, and constantly think of the self as being ever uncontaminated like space.
Yeah. So how do I merge the world into the self? Couple ways we can look at it. The exoteric meaning of it is the world for me exists because of the movement of the mind. And I prove that every night when I go to sleep. Deep sleep is a state where the mind is folded up in its seed form. There's no individual and there's no world. What's the difference between deep meditation and deep sleep? Deep sleep, there's still the covering of ignorance. So, one meaning of this, to merge the world and the self, is to find that place. Swamiji used to say, when the last thought has thoughted, before the next thought starts thought. And then when the thoughting occurs, try it again. Now, the other meaning of merging the world in the self. So if you have a child who thinks the rainbow is a solid thing, oh, mommy, let's get in the car and find the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. You drive towards the rainbow and it keeps moving. Oh, mommy, the rainbow isn't real. It's a real rainbow, dear. It's just not a solid bridge to Valhalla. Or you're driving down Highway 5 through the Central Valley in August, and you see the floodwaters covering the valley. And you slow down from 105, which is what I used to do going down that street. You didn't do that? I had an RX-7. Keep driving along and the water keeps receding. Oh, it's not water, it's a mirage. So I have merged the water into the floor of the valley. So the deeper meaning of this is to be able to see the self in and through all the phenomenal objects. Seeing impermanent, but deeper than that, nitya. In the end, they're illusory. It's like a great big huge hologram. It's insubstantial, like a dream. But there is a substratum. It's very real, which is consciousness itself. Now, if you meditate with your eyes open and keep thinning the mind and thinning the mind, the world itself starts to, words fall short. For me, I always thought of it's like it becomes like a transparency. It's almost like you could stick your hand through the whole thing. Now, true story. This is back when we had our meditation center on Market Street in the city. This is back in the early 90s. There was one woman who was there, and we were working on this idea, and we all got really tuned up. And for her, the world just thinned out. Technical term is tanu manasaha, thinness of mind. And she just burst into tears because what was clear to her is everything that she had thought was important and gave her life meaning was nothing. Like bubbles, Shankara said. Some people get very frightened when they see the world disappear. Other people get very sad. Some of us rejoice. But it really is insubstantial. Brahma Satyam, Jagan Mithya. Brahman, consciousness alone is real. The phenomenal world is illusion. What's here? Sarvam Kalvidam Brahma. All this is verily consciousness. Don't believe me? Thin the mind and see what you see. So this is another meaning of merging the world into the self. All right, next one.
रूपवर्णादिकं सर्वं विहाय परमार्थिवित् परिपूर्ण चिदानन्द स्वरूपेण वतिष्ठते. He who has realized the Supreme discards all his identifications with the objects of names and forms. Thereafter, he dwells as an embodiment of the infinite consciousness and bliss. He becomes the self.
Yes. So when you realize, who am I? I'm not the body, not the mind, not the intellect. I'm witnessing consciousness. What is this world? It is just like an illusion, comes about by means of imagination. And I know what's real. Brahma Satyam. Brahman is real. What is my self nature? I'm the embodiment of bliss, consciousness. When the mind comes home to the self, it's no longer extroverting. I want this, I don't want that. The world isn't right here. I'm not right there. It stops its jonesing. This is, in my opinion, the deep meaning of the Hebrew teaching on Sabbath. Sabbath rest. You're not supposed to work on the Sabbath. So for the person of steady wisdom, all that jonesing, I'll be happy when, it'll be better if, or better different, is gone. And the mind absorbed in the self is the happy mind, the content mind, santosha, wonderful word. Okay, what number are we on now?
41.
Okay, let's do that one.
ज्ञानत्रिज्ञानने भेदम् परेणात्मनि विद्यते चिदानन्दैकरूपत्वात् दीप्यते स्वयमेव हि. There are no distinctions such as knower, knowledge, and the object of knowledge in the Supreme Self. Since it is of the nature of homogeneous consciousness and bliss, the Self has no such distinctions within itself. It shines by itself.
Yes. So the world of name and form has multiplicity. Just like in the dream state, my mind refracts into knower, knowing, and known. So also consciousness refracts into a world of multiplicity. But the self, which I always experience as my ground of being, aham, and he uses this wonderful term, chidananda, bliss consciousness. So when the mind is freed from all that craving, it comes home. We call the self ananda, bliss absolute, because when the mind ceases its extroversion, it becomes blissful. I think in this class, I talked about the image of Hanuman embracing Lord Ram. Yes?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what he's talking about. Michael had made reference to Panchadashi earlier that he'd studied in India. Did you do the last 5 chapters, the Ananda section?
No.
It's divided into 3. The first part is Vasanananda, the bliss of deep sleep. That's how we prove the mind is necessary for misery, it's not necessary for happiness. In deep sleep, the mind is folded up. That's why when I awaken in the morning, oh, I don't want to get out of bed. It's so blissful. Then the second subject is Vishayananda, the bliss through sense objects. I'll use these. I desire, that's agitating, where it hurts. I go after the sense object when desire and object of desire become one. Oh, like Russians. What I've really done is temporarily stop the jonesing, the kama, the craving, the spriha, the longing. And in my ignorance, I attribute it to the object or the person or the job or the politics or the paycheck. And the last part of it he has is Brahmananda. So the yogi learns this very special trick of being able to unknow the mind. Let it abide, absorbed in the sound. In the Christian tradition, we call it the odor of sanctity or the movement of the Holy Spirit. And Vidyaranya, the author of the book that Michael had talked about, had a wonderful expression. Brahmananda rasa swad. What does swad mean?
Taste.
Rasa,
Juice.
tasting the juice of the bliss of Brahman. Now, this is not just for salvations. There's a very famous Bernini statue called The Ecstasy of Saint Teresa. Who's ever seen that? Haven't you seen it?
I think I've seen it, yeah.
Oh, it's pornographic. Her toes are curling. And she's just gone. There's the angel. I think it's Michael who's got this sword. It's very phallic and just holding it behind her. But this is a mind state. This is the tasting of the juice of the bliss of Brahman. And it's there. And the neat thing about it, wherever you go, there you are. It's always available. It won't rot your liver. It can't be abused. You don't have to look your best. It doesn't cost anything. And there's no end to it. It's Nityananda, unending, eternal. All right, we'll stop there. What verse are we on for next week?
42.
42. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Sri Guru Pyo Namaha. Hari Om.